like tonight? Are there any Liberals in the House?
Does that look like someone who has control of his government? Not really. Battleground Canada just got so much more interesting. As you see with the SNC-Lavalin scandal unfolding, Canadians are starting to weigh in, and their opinion might surprise you. According to a latest Ipsos poll, it says that half of Canadians say Justin Trudeau should resign over the SNC-Lavalin scandal. If an election were held today, Justin Trudeau would only see 31% of the vote. Andrew Scheer, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, 40% of the vote. 55% say the scandal will impact their federal election vote. And unsurprisingly, 67% of Canadians believe Jody Wilson-Raybould. But more context in some of these numbers. Of those that responded that were Liberal, 1/4 of the Liberal voters say Justin Trudeau should step down, and a full 75% of Liberal voters in that in their responses say the RCMP should be called in. Brian Lilly is here with me, and these numbers are obviously devastating. Is it time for Justin Trudeau to take his walk in the snow?
Is it time? Will he do it? Those are two very different questions. It's probably time if you're a Liberal strategist that wants to start saving the furniture, and that's kind of the mode that they're in right now. But I don't see him doing it. To Justin Trudeau, where he is his destiny. He has a religious fervor about him. We played the clip from his climate rally in there. He didn't look in control at all. And yet, you know, there's two things that Justin Trudeau is sure of. One, his own destiny to be prime minister. And two, that climate change is the only issue that matters. He's facing this huge problem within his government. He's losing support all over the place. And what's his big idea? Let's send all my ministers out across the country to talk about climate change. Let's hold a climate change rally where, by the way, he was heckled by anti-pipeline protesters from the left who, you know, nearly had the thing shut down. I don't know if you heard the audio. His security wanted him out of there. It was getting so crazy. This guy is in free fall right now. This is, as Andrew Scheer said, a government in chaos.
There's a notion out there that this is a complicated story. Canadians don't understand it because money didn't exchange hands. But I think we're doing a disservice to the average Canadian. People are talking about this. This is starting to seep in to the consciousness of what decision making they're going to make going into the next federal election. So let me ask you then, the federal Conservative leader, Andrew Scheer, last week came out and said that Justin Trudeau has lost all moral authority to govern this country and should resign. Interestingly, a columnist in the Globe and Mail said the exact same thing. But has Andrew Scheer gone too far? Because there's this suggestion that he has nowhere else to go but continue to ask for his resignation. We're 200 and some days away from the election.
After what Jody Wilson-Raybould revealed last week, including putting the Prime Minister in the center of this, given everything that Andrew Scheer had said, given that you've got people like me saying this is obstruction of justice, and then Jody Wilson-Raybould shows up and says, the Prime Minister raised it with me first, and raised not only the Quebec election, but his own political fortunes, I don't think he had a choice.
How does Justin Trudeau stop this, though? How does he stop the bleeding?
Stop it? He doesn't. There just keeps being more and more, and I don't think Jerry Butts is going to help him. I wouldn't be surprised to see some other MPs leave. You know, Scheer's taunt to the Liberal caucus was quite good on Monday, I guess it was. You got to try and remember every day where you are because this thing changes.
Because Jane Philpott's letter to her colleagues in that resignation was you have to sort of look inside yourself, and if you are able to have a good conscience sitting around this cabinet table, it was almost like a shot to them saying, how can you sit here?
Yeah, and how do you when your boss has been implicated by two very competent, believable women. And of course, what Justin Trudeau says, when a woman comes forward, you must believe her. And remember, he emoted that out. They must be believed. Well, okay, we're going to believe these two women, and Canadians do by a margin of 2-1. So, look, I haven't seen polling numbers shift like this so quickly in a long time. I've been one of the folks that has been saying Justin Trudeau had a strong chance of losing the next election before this scandal broke. This scandal has taken it from there's a bit of a horse race to Justin Trudeau can save some seats in Atlantic Canada, but he's going to take a thumping everywhere else. The Conservatives in the Ipsos poll, up to 29% in Quebec. What?
Yes.
29% in Quebec. That
which
gets
translates
them a
into
lot
seats.
of seats.
Yes.
And the Liberal fortune was all about winning seats in Quebec.
And do we even bother bringing up Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP at this point? He's finally got a seat in the House.
He got a seat in the House, but interestingly in this Ipsos poll, they've got the NDP coming up. because the people that are leaving the Liberals are looking to the NDP or, and this could really happen come next election. You remember back in 2005, 2006 election, the Liberals lost to the Conservatives, but the Conservatives didn't take the million-plus Liberal votes that didn't show up. They just stayed home.
That's right.
Not for one election, not for two elections, but almost 3 elections. More than 1 million Liberal voters just said, meh, I'm not interested. And that could happen here.
If you thought that the next election was going to be a sleeper, it's certainly not, as the story continues to evolve and change every day. Log on to Facebook and Twitter, let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.